What is up, my friends? Today, since I have read St. Wolfgang P. Ambrose's story, now I'm reading one of his friends' stories. Today, I'm reading St. Wolfgang P. Ambrose's friends, Thepeawithgoggles. It's a Chinese. She's a Chinese, I think. That's what she wrote on her profile. I don't know her age is because it's wrote on Chinese, but she's a Chinese. She's a girl. So yeah. So I'm gonna be reading Thepeawithgoggles' first story. I'll fight till the end. This is not a one shot. So, let's read the story. It was late at night. The spike zoomed through the air as it found home at the head of a chemist. The said chemist tried to flee, but he soon stopped dead on the ground, soon disappearing under the soil. The plant who fired the deadly spikes that finished shot the chemist was no other than a cactus. Cactus Jones. Cactus Jones. Try to put that on your head. She was currently hiding under a tree. Great spot for plants such as her to camp. She had killed many zombies from that spot. She was glad that no other plant would use it other than her. But soon a bullet from a camel ranger was fired, barely missing the cactus. She soon realized that her cover was blown as her eyes widened. Soon after, fewer bullets were shot, but luckily, none of them hit the spiky plant. She walked around to find a new spot. She noticed a chomper, a hot rod chomper to be exact, just sitting there. She'll notice that Chomper was wearing a top hat on his head. Even though the cactus should be finding a camping spot, she decided to have a little talk with the lazy Chomper. "What are you doing?" As the cactus, she placed her cactus hands on her hips. Trevor just yawned as he adjusted the top hat to the right position. "Just, doing my thing," replied Chomper flatly. Cactus groaned annoyance. She glanced around the air, checking if there was any zombies were staring at the top hat wearing Chomper. Shouldn't you be eating zombies? Yes, you should. But you should also be dead. Oh! That was not bird, actually. That was weird. But still. Oh! 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 Okay, that was weird. The cactus said, "I've seen a lot of easy zombies that you could eat." "Not in a mood," replied the chopper nearly immediately. Peter always wanted us to fight the zombies at the worst of times." He adjusted his top hat once again, realizing that it wasn't at the right spot. Cactus rolled her eyes in response. "Worst times or not, you're letting them capture the garden easier," she clarified, pointing at the garden. A hot rod chopper sign, showing that the cactus has won this little fight. "Fine." He got from his lazy spot and ran rather quickly to the zombie spawn point. Cactus smiled in satisfaction. She usually got these lazy plants to do what they're supposed to do. When she looked up, she realized that a rocket from a foot soldier was heading towards her. She ran as quickly as her little feet can. She barely dodged it, losing more than half of her HP. She started to pant. She only had 25% of her health left. She needed to find a sunflower, and fast. The cactus walked all around the garden. There was no sunflower to be seen. The plant pots were already planted with other plants. He gulped. She could only regain half of her health by herself, she sighed. "I guess I have to live with that until we win." As the fight went on, the cactus continued her fight with the zombies. They were really pushing themselves to their limit. All of them were at the garden, doing their best to capture It was still easy to defeat, as the plants team currently has pea shares the most out of the 4 different plants. She also found a camping spot later on. She used her tallness to jump her way onto a roof, which is a perfect spot for cacti. So after she found the same chomper from before, fending off the zombies in the distance, she smiled as she watched him. It was not bad at all, actually. I wonder why he wears a top hat out of all the things. Cactus said she looked at the other direction, seeing that there weren't any zombies left, and looked back at the garden. Eyes wide as she saw a chomper behind a rock, sobbing. She quickly got down from her spot as she walked up to the chomper. "What's wrong?" Cactus asked. It took a while for the chomper to reply. "We thought the zombies didn't help each other," he said between sobs. He was curling into a ball. "Yeah, so?" Cactus asked, raising an eyebrow. "I don't know how to say anything. Eyebrow, airbrow, they're the same thing. Nobody cares." Or do they, I think. Who knows? I just wanted to talk to Peter so he slowly regained his composure. He just didn't care. "What do you mean?" Cactus asked once more, glanced around the surroundings once again, checking if there were any zombies around. "I had to talk to him the other day. I ate an Arctic trooper, but before I ate him, there was other zombies trying to help him. Once I ate him, a few of them were even scared." Besides, he got angrier and angrier. "Peter just got angry and even tried to slap me." Cactus gasped and he nor heard the current leader of the plants being so hostile. If it wasn't for his sister, I probably would be in the medical room. He got to the point where other plants could probably hear him. Hey, he might have been a bit not in the mood when you talked to him. He smiled. "It's okay, I mean, would have doubt the zombies were just mindless Jones myself, but he was a bit hard on you." Cactus smiled and disappeared. "Thanks for believing me," Chomper said as he wiped away his tears. "Ah, no problem." The Cactus smiled, and so did Chomper. May I ask your name?" Chomper asked. The name's Sarah. I'm Ain." Wait, the name Ain does not sound like a boy. Like, man. Do they? Wait, let me check. I don't know if Ain's a boy or a girl. Okay. So it's a boy. Oh my god, in your face, Ain. You're crying in front of a girl, jeez. As soon as they said their name, they were teleported back to the lawn. They weren't teleported to the same place though. So was teleported to her room while Anne was teleported to his room also. I guess they decided to change teleporting a bit. Cool. And in the end, she said she likes Chomper. But you know what? I love to be the cactus. Because not only the Cactus Jones, they're way easier to play. Because guess what? Team Fortress 2, I'm so good at sniping if there's no lag. Seriously. It was near noon. Plants have gathered their rooms into the canteen. Oh, it's gathered from their rooms in the canteen. The canteen was located at the far left of the treehouse. It is not only the place for grabbing a bite to eat, but it's also a place where the plants can gather together, telling their experiences. Anyone was sitting on a chair, alone. But he didn't mind that, as he usually was alone anyways. I'm alone. Forever. I'm actually alone all the time, actually. I'm actually muted on the outside world. I don't want to talk to anyone, seriously. Right now I don't even want to talk to myself. That's weird. It wasn't like he cared anyways. He currently was eavesdropping. You should not eavesdrop. Seriously. Even if I wanted to, I don't want to. Although technically I'm alone, I would just think about fictional stories. Like forget about everything. There was a group of plants sitting at a table near where Ain was sitting. Hey, have you heard of the rumors that's been going around? That's one of the plants. Was a loppy. Wow, so much for a law, mate. So much for a law that you are like talking about things. What's even laws anyways? That's one of the plants who was a loppy, All of them shook their heads except one. Those who knew the rumors spoke up. Yeah. The plant who was an ice cactus. Why is it a ice cactus? It's like AI. Sometimes I've been saying that our leader Peter isn't really on our side. Plants except for Loppy gasped. Yeah, he nearly snapped me, murmured. Oh wait, yeah, he nearly slapped me, murmured the chomper as he continued listening to the conversation. It's just a bit rusty. A plant who was sat next to the ice cactus. I mean, it takes a while to get used to being the leader of us. Even his older brother had a problem when he just started. Yeah, right, said Anne all the time. At least his brother was a bit nicer. Dude, I heard he had been attempting to hurt a chomper, said the ice cactus once more. He's lucky that Peter's sister was there. That's what I just said! Anne murmured once more, feeling rather annoyed. Now he's working for the zombie, says Shadowflower. That's just his personality. The Law Peter looked at the Shadowflower in disbelief. That's nowhere near personality. He was promoted to leader. He wasn't like that at all, said Law Peter once more. Shadowflower rolled her eyes. Personality or not, unless Peter isn't on our side or anything, I don't want to be a part of this. She got up from her seat as she started to walk away. Wait, where are you going? Asked Ice Cactus. She watched Shadowflower walking away. It's lunchtime. Duh, she said without looking back. She pointed at the clock near the entrance of the canteen. The other plants looked at each other, getting up to the seats to get food too. She does plant food. I just drank a bit of cola. That's not actually cola. It's kind of Fanta. Drank a bit of orange Fanta because like I like Fanta and Dr. Pepper, I guess. The other plants looked at each other before getting up from their seat to get food too. Once they left, Chomp was the only one left at their area. He sighed. Let's go get some food. As before he could finish his sentence, he noticed someone walking through the bundles of plant. It was the leader of the plant, Peter. He saw that the Peacher wasn't here for food, but he'd rather walking through the canteen to get to somewhere else. He narrowed his unseen eyes. Lunch come later. We gotta follow him. He got off his chair and followed Peacher, attempting to not get caught, especially with all the higher-ranked plants lurking around the canteen. So the Peacher was stopping at the outskirts of a very humongous area where walking more than just 10 steps would lead to the outside. For some strange reason, there was a building that led underground. Peter brought out a device of sort and used to open it. Peacher looked around. He saw plants following him. Luckily, Anne wasn't caught. Peacher entered the building, shutting the door shut. Okay, that might not. Leaving the chomper pondering what the Peacher was doing. First off, why is there a building here anyway? Said himself. Kept pondering until he realized that he was at the middle of nowhere, and without Peter to follow, how would he get back to the lawn? Backed up for a good 15 seconds, calming down. He had to think for a solution, but he could only think for one. Try to remember where you walked. Worked for a good mile or so before realizing that his tactic of his wasn't really working. Think of a better solution than his previous one and swept. His previous one, as sweat poured down from his head. Suddenly he heard something. Something from a hot rod. Something from an engine. Something from a hot rod chomper. Quickly was face to face with the same top hat wearing chomper. The top hat wearing chomper, like that Sarah met. What I think was Sarah. Confused expression formed on the taller chomper's face. What the heck are you doing here? It's nearly 2 o'clock. You should be back in the lawn getting ready for the next match with the zombies, Ron Chomper said, and gulped. He didn't know what to say. Well, I want to find out what was outside the lawn, and there's no need for stammering, said high-tired Chomper. Take a word for replying. And Shelly nodded in response. If you keep doing that, like you are like, then you're not just gonna live. Because you're just stammering at words that you don't even understand. Well, I want to know what was outside. Go and see the lawn, the places where we go against the zombies. On Chopper nodded, he adjusted his top hat once again. Follow me before you get yourself lost. And be quick, or I might lose interest in helping you. Orange Chomper said flatly as he turned around, turning to the direction of the lawn. They were walking towards the lawn, and asked a question. Hey, I've seen a lot, but I've never heard of your name. So what's your name, Mr. Top Hat? Arnold Chomper growled in annoyance after hearing that nickname. Yeah, best nickname ever! Actually, the worst nickname ever. And giggled as he saw the Hot Rod Chomper's reaction. My name is Chomp, but please don't ever call me by that name ever again. The rest of the journey was in silence. Silence! After an hour or so, they reached their destination. Went back to the canteen for a quick lunch before going back to his room under Crazy Dave's house, where all the advanced plans lived. It was nearly 2. Wait, they walked for an hour, okay? They walked for an hour, and they say it's almost 2 o'clock, so it should be almost 3 o'clock, actually. The chopper got ready to go into the portal, where they'll confront the zombies. Luckily, the same cactus from before was also in the same match. He walked up to her, but first he hesitated, so had to do so anyway. Hey, Sarah, he said, scaring Sarah immediately as she nearly fell off. Would you mind not scaring me? Asked annoyed Sarah. So, what's the deal with you? Sarah looked at her worrying. That's what I tell you sometime. Said it was cut short once again as the portal started open, showing that the match has started. I'll just tell you when we get it, started Chopper. Sarah nodded in agreement. Hello from the other side. What am I doing? And then Chomp took you back to the lawn? Asked the cactus as you looked up at the mountains, checking if there was any pesky zombies. Chomper behind her nodded. Yeah, pretty weird, right? And asked as he saw a toxic bee fighting an engineer with a teleporter was. For the spiky plant replied, shot out her spikes, hitting a zombie who was quite far away. To the point that where Anne couldn't see it. So after a cry from the sad zombie split through the air. Jeez. I thought chompers cannot look because they don't have eyes. Anne felt uneasy once he heard it, thinking how the zombies felt being impaled by spikes. They're dead anyway, so you expect that they really didn't feel the pain. Yeah. That was the only word the cactus replied, leaving Chomper with a disappointed expression, was replaced by boredom. I started to get in there with my teammates, you know. Just as he slowly walked down from Sarah's sniping point, the cactus was only potato mines and tolerance. Just sighed. Guess I'm alone now. Alone again. Naturally. Pierre watched the battle from a distance, scanning both the plants and zombies. Usually monitor them when the match starts. And when things get out of hand, they come down to help. He was currently wearing his army helmet, holding a walkie-talkie, holding a firm grip. Suddenly a voice emerged from the communication devices. "Do you hear me, Peter?" asked the plane from the other side. He was at the headquarters of the alarm. "Yeah, I hear you," replied Peter, never leaving his eyes off the battlefield. The Zombos has been in the air for quite some time now. I'm not sure if you've seen it. Peter looked up slightly, noticing the blimp currently in the air, deploying machines and healers to aid the zombie team. "Yeah, I'll take care of that." He turned the walkie-talkie off as he activated his hyper ability, using the mountain nearby to get higher and higher, finally reaching the blimp. Aiden was already deep in the battlefield. He was only a few feet away from their spawn point. They ate zombie by zombie, feeling more guilty zombie after zombie. He set traps and him in place. And each time a zombie walked up to it, getting caught, slowly become an easy target. "We're protecting Crazy Dave and our fellow plants," said the sentence spoken by Pete a week ago played through his head. "Bitch gonna about a week ago. When I say about 3 weeks ago, going down 3 weeks ago, oh, going down a week ago, oh." By the way, I'm only gonna read chapter 1 to chapter 6 because I wanted to make it long, like for 2 parts. Because I might actually, there's gonna be a live stream of this guy. I don't know how you say it. "On again, naturally. On again, naturally." Oh wait. The sentence spoken by Peter a week ago played through his head. "Bitch gonna about a week ago. Okay, just stop. He growled in irritation soon after something else popped up. "Well, I suppose that the zombies do have emotions. That doesn't change anything. This is war, Ain. We cannot show mercy for them, and even if they're mindless or not, they're still under the command of zombies." Words from Ice after a little argument he had with Peter echoed through his mind. He kept pondering as he continued hiding in a zombie spawn point. A bright light emitted from under a huge boulder snapped out of his words and thought. Curiously, cautiously walked towards the bright light. Since there wasn't any zombie around, he didn't need to keep glancing everywhere. He pushed the boulder out of the way, revealing an underground base that definitely wasn't made by the plants. Sort of the bright light led to a hallway, but he couldn't see the rest of it due to what could only be so big. And let his curious self get to, and as he made the hole bigger, he had suitable enough for a charmer to get in. Minutes passed, and Ain was finally able to get in. As he touched the ground below, a loud thud was heard. He looked around the surrounding and awe. The entire place was covered in technology. Zombie technology, to be exact. He gulped as he shivered down his stomach. There's a whole ton of zombies here. It isn't like he has any other choice. Ain followed the trail that led up to the source of the bright light. Once he reached the source, he found himself in front of the zombie's blimp. Wasn't a blimp up in the air just now? He pondered as he took his time. Jeez, what happened? But wasn't the blimp up in the air just now? Or as he took his time to study the blimp. It wasn't torn or destroyed, it was just there. Suddenly he heard voices coming from the blimp, but it was very faint. He walked up to the voices, heard them clearer. "I'll only construct your request if you give me enough resources." Rough voice, most likely a zombie said. And couldn't hear a reply. Most likely the other guy was nodding instead of replying. When he murmured, "There was a window on the blimp. He decided not to see through it, since he might be seen." "And how do I exactly know that?" Chalmers was saying correctly. "Anywhere as long as you don't get them from our base." The other voice spoke again. It was very tempting. He just desperately wanted to look into the window pane. He hesitated. Did he really want to go there? He was taking a risk with his aim. It's best not to. No, this time he was determined to look through it. He actually walked to the right where the window pane. Looked up slightly once he reached it. He was able to see at least one of the figures. That being, he could see he's currently sitting on a chair examining the person in front of him. Sally Aiden couldn't see him, but heard hurt due to the window being small. Bean's skin was a decaying green. His lab coat was torn and old. His head was ridiculously big. It was none other than Zamos himself. Chopper gulped in fear. He was only a few feet away from the leader of the zombies. Couldn't think straight. With his teeth in irritation. So many thoughts were in his head. What are they even saying? What's the other figure? Where the heck is he? Fine, spoke the other. Interest thought. Get most of the resources by tomorrow. The footsteps of the figures left, leaving Zamos the only left in his room. He seemed to be thinking. Black pupils stood still. She drifted to his world of thoughts. Chum was even more confused, but he decided to push away the thoughts. He needed to tell Sarah and the other plants. Reached the place he was, not caring if there were any zombies nearby. To the place he went down, a determination he used his burrow ability to get back to high ground, soon running to the garden. Once he reached the garden, he saw that the plant pots were already planted. Hence, we got in the gardens like always, unaware of Haines' recent not-so-good venture to the zombie space. The plants never knew. And Sarah was still at her spot the last time she saw him. Sarah! Sarah! Chopper cried as he ran over to her. As he ran over to her, she sighed. Not only earning Sarah's attention, even nearby plants like down in confusion as they watched him walk up to the cactus. You don't need to be that loud, yelled the cactus in an annoying manner. And chuckled nervously. It's just that I have something a bit important to tell you. Cactus said, what is it now? She was beyond annoyed. Chopper from before was annoying her until the Chopper got bored. Jeez, my nose hurt. Found a secret base on a zombie spawn point. Sarah braced knife. We went in there and found a zombie's blimp. Now this really caught her attention. That's why the blimp wasn't in the air. Who was inside the blimp? And did you went in? Sadly, no. But I saw who was in the blimp. I saw Zomboss himself and... Wait. Cut off some Chopper's sentence. You saw Dr. Zomboss? You're lying. Chopper shook his head like a child would. No, I'm not. I really saw him. And he was discussing with someone about this thing. Chopper yelled once again. Cactus was convinced. She didn't want to have a fight with a Chopper for the rest of the match. So, what thing? She asked. Chopper looked down. I'm not sure. They haven't said what they're exactly building, but I know they're building something. Cactus was about to reply. Countdown's match has already started. Teleport back to our rooms. Meet me in the West Hall. We'll talk there. Chopper nodded. Countdown was at its last seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh God, my ears. My ears. One. Plants were teleported back to their rooms, while the other plants decided to have a rest after such a tough fight. Both Anne and Sarah ran to the West Hall, where they discuss about Anne's experience. Experiences never lies. Sorry, I kind of got trying to get into a stream, and I failed. I actually joined the match, but then I failed so badly. So yeah. Let's go to chapter number 4, and then 5, and then 6. It was around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It has been 3 days since Ain had a chat with Sarah at the West Hall. Chopper has gained full support from his comrade since then. The past 3 days they've been digging deeper about whoever requested the machine's mysterious origins. But they couldn't do much, as they had to do their job above all else, which was quite frustrating, and the match for the day was already done. Two plans decided to meet up at Sarah's place. So, anything new? Cactus asked. Chopper nodded as he entered the room. Look at the zombie spawn point, Chopper said. And I found this. It seems that all of zombie spawn points have an underground base. Anne gave a cactus a blueprint. She examined it before speaking. It seems that the zombies are building a machine of sorts, Cactus said before narrowing her eyes at the blueprint. Too bad I don't understand their language, Cactus said. Me neither, Chopper said right after the cactus spoke. Understand or not? We can still work with this. We just need a few other plants' help, Cactus clarified. The blueprint still being held by the cactus's hand. Suppose, but I did doubt about it. And someone said help! Plank exclaimed as the door of Sarah's room was unexpectedly opened, scaring two plants who were in the room. Chopper jumped so the cactus nearly fell from her bed, but luckily she grabbed hold of one of the bars that connected the bed to the ceiling. The plant that scared the poop out of them turned out to be a mystic flower. She currently wore a pink ascot around her neck. Behind her was a toxic pea who seemed to be a little scared to meet Anne and Sarah. He wore black nerd glasses. Nerds. Nerds are awesome! If you, like, in other places, like before, like, you have to hide yourself being a nerd. Now being a nerd is, like, the best thing that would ever happen to your life. You didn't have to tell me, Yellow Mystic! Cried the toxic pea as he put hands on the Mystic Flower's shoulder. Mystic Flower ignored his plea as he went into the room without the cactus's permission. So he realized that there was no turning back and decided to swiftly follow the flower. Hey, the Mystic Flower said, with that creepy smile of hers. Heard you need some help or something. With something. It's like, did somebody say help? It's like, I don't know. Two other plants were too surprised to even speak, but the cactus decided to speak. Yeah, and what the heck did you unexpectedly just barge into my room like that? So Flower checked nervously in response. Sorry, Flower apologized. It's just that me and, well, my friend here are pretty interested in what you and your chopper friend said, and it was her idea to even talk to you guys. Toxic P said as she cut off her sentence. Mr. P rolled her eyes. As I was saying, we want to help you guys, she said as she grinned. The other two plants just looked at her in concern. Are you really sure you want to help us? Sarah asked. You know what we're talking about? And then I just grinned and responded with Toxic P sighed. Well, we'll know once you tell us, Miss Clark said. First, she go, let's introduce myself. Let's introduce ourselves. I missed it, said she pointed at herself. This nerd over here? She giggled once more before speaking. It's Herschel. Toxic P nodded shyly. Yeah, that's my name. He's a bit shy when it comes to making new friends, she says she smiled once more. Yes, said Chopper said to himself. She's really outgoing. I wish I'd be dead. I'm just kidding. She says she's really outgoing. As the hours gone by, Sarah and Anne the two newcomers about what they're doing. Anne told them about his experience going to a secret part of the zombie's spawn point, which deeply intrigued both Mystic and Herschel, especially Herschel. Oh yeah, they introduced themselves to the two plants. They nearly forgot that. You gonna fight the zombies tomorrow? Anne asked. The two newcomers nodded. Yeah, I'm the healer of the team, so I'm usually at the garden. You can meet me there, Mystic said with a smile on her face. I'm usually on the front line of defense, she said. He was tired. And you might see me at the zombie spawn point. Okay then, Sarah said. All got a plan. All we need to do is wait, she said as she smiled. Yeah, we're gonna save the plants, said with, I guess so. And said with a toothy grin on his face. But what if we fail? Rusher asked. Sarah looked at him, confidence written in her face. We won't. Dr. Zomboss, as mentioned, he was pacing, but not in a nervous way. It's more like thinking. Seems like he isn't on their side anymore, he thought to himself. I must stay cautious. Who knows what he's up to? Is Peter on the other side? Is Peter on the other side? Oh my god. Hello from the other side. I can't sing. My singing is just very annoying. Sometimes. Sir, a voice pulled the leader of the zombies over to stop. He took his attention to his zombie in front of him. He's brought the resources to build the machine. The lower class zombie appeared to be a General Supremo, but he currently wasn't wearing his army hat. Good, Zomboss replied. Get the zombies ready. We got a time machine to make. Yes, sir. Zombie saluted to his Supreme before leaving. Zomboss left along his room. Machine smiled in a crazed grin. Maniac. A time machine, eh? Looks like my golden ticket to finally beat those pesky plants. Yeah, they are pesky, actually. So, anyhow, I hope peskiness does not exist. It was nighttime and long. Everyone was sleeping, except for one. Peter was lying in his bed. His pea-pod hands was holding a photo. Looked at it for a good 4 minutes before putting it back to his original position. He signed. I'll change the past. I promise. Oh my god, time traveling. So they're either gonna make the paradox effect or the butterfly effect. And the butterfly effect seems more likely. The butterfly effect simply is changing the future. The paradox effect actually causes the past. So I think it's more likely that this is gonna be changing the future more than changing the past. Or maybe it is the paradox effect. So now Thepeawithgoggles now wants to do the story in first-person point of view. Right now, it's Peter's POV. Chapter 6 will be Ain's POV. So, this is Peter's point of view. What time is it? Oh, it was 1 o'clock. The 1 hour left till we had to go into the portal for the next match with zombies. Strange though. It felt so different. I didn't mean to betray them. I really don't. What needs to be done has to be done. In a blink of an eye, it was 2 o'clock. So as I stared at the clock above me, I felt time goes faster and faster each day. Got up and I made my way to the portal. There were about 15 other plants with me, including that chomper, the one I had a little argument with about 2 weeks ago. Elliot wasn't in the mood to talk then. He was sorry for the poor plant as he was obviously scared. It was true, ever since he left, I became more short-tempered, which was bad for both myself and my ego. I wouldn't blame the plants or myself. It's because of them, the zombies. I only joined forces with them to help my fellow plants. First you'll think I'm working with them, but it's just a misunderstanding. Wanted was to go back in time, reverse all the mess, but as each day passed, I felt like my sanity slowly drifting away from me as I got more and more frustrated. But I got all resources for Zomboss to build the machine, so everything will be fine, right? Commander? Hot Rod Chopper spoke up, snapping me from my thoughts. Now Chopper was wearing a top hat. Hey Chomp, I said with a smile. I haven't seen you for a while. How's my old buddy been? Chopper only stared at me in concern. That's like he was holding my army hat with one of his vines. Trevor noticed me looking at my army hat. He offered the hat. He seemed to be more serious. He wasn't like that before, save for grabbing the army hat. You have changed, Chopper finally spoke up. You noticed that? Ah, of course I noticed that. I haven't changed. I gave out a little lie. I'm completely fine. The forced smile. He really put the army hat on my head. The portal was activated before the Hot Rod Chopper could reply. I watched the plants as they went into the portal. We must be the only ones who weren't in yet. Chomp signed. I don't know what you're planning, Chopper said as he walked up to the portal. Just don't think anything stupid. Let's back to at the P-shooter, which is me, once more before going to the portal. I laughed nervously. Anything stupid. I decided not to think about that now. We went in the portals. Within seconds, I was teleported to the match, where the plants go face to face with a zombie. Went through the portal. I greeted one of my comrades planting pot plants, choppers setting traps, and cacti planting tolerance and potato mines to protect their flank. Once again, saw the chopper I had an argument with. Seemed to be joined with a toxic pea this time. I watched them as they ran to the zombie spawn point. I used my hyper ability to get to high grounds, holding my army hat tightly so it wouldn't fall while doing so. Got a pretty good area. This time once more. Watched the plants they started to battle the zombies, Chomp being the first plant to kill one of them. So I got tensed as I saw the zombie splint was up in the air once more. Smiled as a crazed grin. Looks like I'm really going insane. I shrugged it off though. I waited for my hyper ability to recharge before reaching the zombie splint once again. Got in. The only sound I can hear was the clanking sounds that my roots made as I walked through the eerie hallway. I already started with your request. The voice of Zomos echoed through the hallway, giving an ominous tone of his voice. Shortened slightly as his intimidating voice. Cleared my throat before speaking, hopefully making it as intimidating as the leader of the zombie. When is it gonna be finished? I was trying to make her voice into a deeper tone. Zomboss just smiled and responded. It'll be finished when it's finished, the zombie said, earning a silent ground for me. Be more specific, Zomboss? I said, trying to intimidate him. The time machine will be finished within this week, leader of the zombies said. But you know my end of the deal, right? He asked. Not nearly immediately. Once you finish using the machine, I'll take care. I have big plans for it, said while he smiled evilly, bringing another growl from me. Oh, once you know what I'll do with it, it'll be the last time you're gonna see the world as it is. It's nearly the end of the match. You should be going, Samal said once more, smiling. Let the blimp in a matter of seconds, and I slowly fell down to the ground. Oh, I saw a cactus looking up. Oh, poop. Before I even touched the ground, I, along with other plants, was teleported back to my lawn. Tomorrow's another day, murmured, leaving the world of reality as drift through my thoughts once more. So now it's chapter 6. So let's go. Chapter 6. This is the normal version of chapter 5. Aim was in his room in the underground base of the advanced planet. It was only 1 o'clock in the Ames clock. He pretty much has been staring at it for the past 15 minutes. Why? Because today he was determined to find out what the zombies were planning. He and Sarah had been searching for the past week. With the help of Herschel and Mystic, he was sure they'll find the answers. He was determined, but also nervous. Sure, he went in each of the battlefield zombies' bases with ease, but since he was going with Herschel, he was afraid they might get caught this time. He shook his head. It's best not to think about that now. Sound of knocking from the other side of the door snapped Aang from his thoughts. Hello from the other side. Who is it? Yes, laughing. Is it the cactus you talk with too much? The other side replied jokingly, earning a smile from the chopper. Then come in, Sarah. Is that cactus you talk with too much? He's like, you can come in, Sarah. Cactus giggled for opening the door. Red eyes glancing around the room from sitting next to Amy. It's nearly 2 o'clock. Are you ready? She smiled, but Aang just sighed. Not really. Sarah's smile disappeared nearly immediately. What's wrong? Chopper just gave her a grim look. Oh, Cactus said once she saw his expression. Hey, don't worry, okay? We'll get the answer we've been searching for nearly 2 weeks now. She smiled once again, attempting to cheer Chopper up, and just sighed once again. I guess so. A few months later, a smile appeared on his face. That's the Chopper I know. She grinned, earning a light laugh from me. He looked up to see his clock. He gasped. It was 2 o'clock. The portal's gonna be activated. We gotta get going. Stims ran out of the room, leaving Sarah the only one in the room. She said, "We gotta get going," said to herself before leaving her the room while also closing the door. Both A and Sarah have arrived outside the base where the portal was. Saw Herschel and Mystic both already there. Mystic grinned as she waved at them, while Herschel just watched them walk towards the portal with a shy smile. Guys, we've been waiting for ages, Mystic said, the smile she was known for still on her face. Well, we went to wait until 2, while the cactus was standing next to Chomp. However, wasn't listening. Anauer wasn't listening to the conversation. He was looking around the plants he was gonna fight with. Chomp is here. The group of plants I saw talking in the canteen a week ago are here too. Bitch gonna bada a week ago. What did I say about a 2 weeks ago? He's like, just shut up! The A Week Ago song is so addicting. Although its name is Hot Nigga. I don't care. Parston. I was just typing in a week ago, mate. His unseeable eyes widened as he saw a familiar Peter. Peter! He's looking at me! Turned his head to the other side to avoid eye contact with Peter. Seems that it took a good 5 seconds for the pea-shooting plant to turn his attentions toward Chomp. Inside in relief. You really don't want to see him in the eye again. We can say he was rather scared of him. Terrified even, as each day passed more and more. Lots of speculating he's working with Zomboss, but there's no solid proof to confirm that, working with them or not. But definitely something fishy with the leaders of the plant. Portal that the group of plants have waited for quite some time has been activated. She looked in the ants in the seeing eye. You ready? She smiled. The other 2 plants smiling with her, determination written in all their face, as if he was hit by a rocket filled with happiness, and felt courage running through his stem. Seeing his friend all being so willing to help was phenomenal. Not in a million years he thought this would ever happen. See you on the other side, guys. That sounds like from Adventure Time app. Mystic says she jumped into the portal with Herschel closed behind. And Sarah and with only few plants haven't entered the portal yet. I know you most likely are not interested in these things, but I like you. You're both being yourself and a friend. Cactus started to blush a dark green. Okay, so cactuses blush dark greens, fire flowers blushes dark reds, classical pea-shooters blushes pink, and hot rod choppers engine would just go when every time they blush. So now I know how blushing. I never really had friends. Either backstab me or just let me die in the battlefield. Not sure where they are now, but they can go to hell. So with both honesty and for jokes, and laughter response. I'm not a friend myself, in reply. It's just you never seem to like me. But anyways, I'm glad I have a friend like you too. Says you walk to the horse. See you, says he went in. Friends. Sarah decided to leave that thought in the air. Entering the portal, humor. Slight note. I can't believe I've already written this much before the interesting part is written. Haha, but maybe the slight romance was a little interesting. Ha 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 ha. Sorry, I wanted to leave a slight note here. Almost to the story. This gotta be one long chapter. When Sarah went in the portal, she was greeted in the battlefield, which she was quite familiar with. Broken suburban house, graveyard. She smiled in slight nostalgia. To the other planets, this area was quite new to them. But Sarah, this was where her childhood resides. This was where she was from. It's not crazy that it's the only one who defend themselves from zombies, right? Do. But sadly, like most of the other Norse, other than Eve, their brains were all eaten, causing their house to slowly decay to what it is now. Mr. Survived fled to Crazy Dave's house. She was only a normal cactus back then. Hey Sarah, Sunflower exclaimed earlier. Mystic Flower to be exact. Do you know this place? It seems like it. This was where I came from. Sarah replied flatly. Like most plants, it don't come from Crazy Dave's lawn. Mystic looked at her in disbelief. This? Your home? Look at all this wreckage. How do you even live here? She scoffed. I lived here before it became like this, Sarah replied with a slight annoyance. Not until our lawn's owner was eaten. Mystic gasped. I'm sorry if I acted mean before. Did you like your lawn's owner? She asked. No one turned to sadness. Yes, I did, Sarah replied. She was the only one who cared for me. Voices traced off. Mystic decided not to dig deeper, thinking it will hurt Sarah. Sorry if I remind you of your owners. She hesitated. Fate. Sarah shook her head, attempting to cheer herself up. It's okay. Living in a world like this, it's bound to happen, she said before looking at the area where the garden is. Should be at the garden, she said. I'll be fine. I know where to go. Okay? Mystic nodded. Herschel and Ain were already on their way to zombie spawn. Stay safe, she smiled before leaving. She sat and thought her only friend back then being eaten by the plant's mortal enemy would forever haunt her mind. She had to protect her human friend, all because of her thinking that she couldn't do it. She probably could save her, but with all the harassment she had tormented with, made her lose hope for herself, resulting in her friend dying because of her. This time, she was determined to protect Crazy Dave. And Ain. Even if she can't fight melee like Ain can, she will still try. She went off to a place where cactus can be at their best. The rooftops. Ain and Herschel were already deep into the graveyard. The duo decided to wait until the match started, which it did, leaving them a lesser chance of getting caught. Herschel adjusted his nerd class for speaking. So, what do we do, Ain? Yes. Under the zombie spawn point, there's always an underground base. Ain replied. So, we just have to find an opening that leads to then we're in business, smiled a cocky grin. But are you sure there's always something that leads to it? Herschel asked once. I mean, there's only 31.2839% chance. Just follow my lead, Herschel! Ain said before attack speed could finish his sentence. Okay, Herschel replied, his voice barely hearable. It took around 13 minutes to find an opening where they could go in. Much to Herschel's dismay, due to him really didn't want to go, but Ain was his friend, and he'll do anything to help out a friend. As they made a big enough hole the two plants to get in, both amazed by their surroundings. The base was different from the other ones. It's like the most important one, I think it is. Wow, Herschel said in amazement. Zombies, they really know how to work with technology. They didn't ignore Herschel's compliment to the zombies as swiftly ran to the heart of the base they were currently in. Wait, don't leave me here! Herschel said as quickly followed Ain's footsteps. Once the plant duo reached the heart of the base, they both had their mouth gasped. Whoa, now that's something we had to admire, Herschel said once again, and took his time to study the machine. It's round. It's most likely built with blackish metal. Electricity from God knows where, from Dave knows where, is powering it. Zombies were everywhere, much to two plants' dismay. Looks like we hit the jackpot. And excitedly asked, all we have to do is know what the machine's purpose do. Herschel nodded. Once you find out what it is, we'll warn the entire plant team, right? Tuxby asked. Chopper nodded. That's the plan. Two plants were their most quiet. They walked through the heart of the base to get to the, or at least near the machine without getting caught. Yes, we're finally gonna get answers, Ned said to himself as he smiled. Hanging around the room, there was a few foot soldiers. Most of them were scientists, all-stars, and engineers were nowhere to be seen, which wasn't odd, by the way. We're nearly complete, Commander, Sami abruptly said, causing both plants complete halt. Good. I want this machine to be finished by tomorrow, said another voice, which clearly belonged to High Tire's army. Yes, sir. The lower-class zombie saluted before running off to his duties. They heard the zombies leading to the both sides of the relief. Someone could have got caught for a second there, said Herschel quietly. They nodded and agreed. Continued their small journey through the bundle of zombies, doing their best not to get caught. For a short while, they finally reached the machine, where the machine was. But they and Herschel smiled as they were relieved. They celebrated before a voice interrupts them. How's the machine going? Sami asked, making both Herschel and Ain, especially Ain, gasp in shock. No, they can't be planning. Yep, once we finish this bad boy, we'll finally get the upper hand. The other zombie replied, smirk printed on his face. Why didn't we think of this before? He laughed. The zombie shrugged. Beats me. I know that all it took was the leader of the plants to request this, and voila, the best plan ever. Gasped once more, this time even No, it can't be. They were right. His heart was pumping faster and faster. His anger was rising. No, no, Herschel replied. It's obviously work. Can't be angry right now. They'll find out we're here. The turns is quiet to follow. Inside. Perhaps you're right. Wait, you're saying that a plant is actually on our side? Zombie asked in disbelief. Our brain eating being laughed like a madman. Heck no! He probably has something else in mind, like helping his slaves or whatever. Ain growled at the words slaves. These zombies were real jerks. Ursa just gave a worried look, hoping that what he was thinking wasn't the truth. I suppose so, somebody said while smiling. They'll follow every command the plant makes, don't they? He asked. A zombie, who was a camel ranger, laughed. I guess, but I think that they take commands from that crazy guy, said. Ha! There are times when I feel sorry for them, mindless slaves serving that human, said in the most insulting way possible. I'll show you who the mindless slave is. It's confirmed. Ain was officially ticked. Luckily, he was stopped by Herschel. We can't leave you. What? Herschel said, trying to calm the chopper down. I have enough information and know what they're doing. So once again, signed, knowing that what the toxic piece was saying was right. Fine, but when I find these two zombies, I'll not only eat them, I'll rip them to shreds. Bert gasped in shock. It's the most hostile thing that he ever heard from a plant. Said to shrug it off. Now let's go. They went to the opposite direction they went before, always being as quiet too. Herschel could easily tell that the chomper was pissed. Really pissed. He could probably feel the steam of the zombie plant was currently making for a mile away. So he finally got out. Both of them ran like cheetahs, chasing its meal, with Herschel being the fastest one due to his hyper ability, but his glasses fell once again. Plants were at the guard who just stared to currently running plants. They most likely thought they had been seeing ghosts or something. Fortunately, the match has ended before they could reach Sierra's sniper again. Soon they saw was her looking up. What's supposed to be a pea shooter? Wait. So all the planes teleport back to one. Once they immediately teleport back, and ran out to reach Sierra's. Here, I have to say something. And we seem to be Agent P completely stopped aiming from his track halfway through his journey. What is it? He asked, scared to what's coming. I'm sorry to say that your brother is dead. Dun 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 dun. So Peter's brother is now officially dead. So actually write this much. Seriously, 2,532 words. Wow! My Revenge of the Cupcake story. You know how much words that is? You know how much? 2,576 words, and it's still continuing. Anyways, this is enough to fill all you guys' desires. By the way, the next chapter is where things get 50% real. P.S. You guys are the ones who make me want to update this story, so you all can review or fave or follow or whatever. Even a high works. Anyways, so I hope you enjoyed that. It took an hour, I don't know why, just reading 6 stories. That's actually 10,000 words, but yeah. See you guys next time. Steven T. Desmond, out.